Hello, everybody. Welcome today with us for this webcast. We are very happy to be with you. Today, it's about digital audit. So I have a colleague with me who will talk to you about digital audit. For this webcast, I will just ask you to put you on mute. And if you have any questions during the webcast, you can type your question directly in the below in the Q&A, and we will be able to answer your questions at the end of the webcast. So we will have like a 30 minutes presentation by Pierre, and then we will have the Q&A. Okay, so first of all, I will just introduce myself. So my name is Caroline. I work at PwC for almost 7 years now in human capital marketing. I am in charge of organizing events such as this one to be able for the students to better know what we do at PwC and yes, just discover the opportunities that we have and the jobs that we have. And I will give the lead to Pierre, if you can maybe introduce yourself and then
sure.
Tell you everything about digital audit.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. So welcome, everyone. My name is Pierre Veit. I'm in PwC Switzerland Digital Assurance since now 5 years. I have done my studies in HEC Lausanne, so bachelor and master in information system from Lausanne. And yes, so I'm working in this team. I'm currently an assistant manager, and I've been working in PwC since I stopped university. I'm from Neuchâtel as well, and currently also working from the office from PwC Neuchâtel. All right, so let's get started maybe to a brief introduction of what is the digital audit. So we'll briefly explain to you maybe here what is an audit basically. So some people have to take some risk assessments based on the financial statements of companies, saying that the people are going into companies and are testing if the accounts are correct, if there is no risk related to their business that may lead to losses of financials and anything like this. So this is the basic audit. And those people that are working also in PwC are then requiring our help for some of the missions that they are performing. So to summarize here in this slide, we are doing the support to the audit and as well other missions as an advisory, which is more consultant oriented than audit. To briefly introduce as well the kind of IT environment we are talking about, we have different sizes of clients. The smallest one that we have are called the middle market clients. So it's small clients, but have probably already a few hundred millions revenue cash by year. So this is small in terms of audit, but still quite big companies. For this kind of companies, we are doing reviews of the IT controls in place. So as this is written here, the existence of the IT controls. Then we have bigger size clients. We do a bit more than this. So we are effectively testing the control that we have previously attested the existence. So this is big clients with some weeks of projects where we have to work on as a group or component team. It means that we have to do the audit of the headquarters or as subsidiaries, basically. And then the biggest environment that we have to work on are really big companies that have headquarters in Switzerland, for example, but are also listed in the US. It means that they have a SOX environment and are really complicated to audit and are really large organization as well. It may lead to project at least that will last like 1 full year for some teams. So this is really big ones, just to show that we have different size of projects and clients and engagements. If I move on to the next slide, this is a bit to summarize what we are doing nowadays as part of the digital audit. We have one main topic, which is called the IT General Control, ITGC, which is divided in 4 domains, which are the access to program and data, where you will basically review, as an example, we are having a client running on SAP for their main ERP, and they are managing users through the SAP HR module. And then they have some central software, for example, that are managing the roles from SAP and then pushing all the roles and the users to the main SAP. And so we are reviewing those kind of stuff, the processes that are in place for granting the success, how those access are then managed within SAP directly, etc. So we also have the operating systems that we are reviewing and the databases access as well, which has more the IT and technical accesses, but still are under our review. So the goal is really to understand the mechanism in place and get some extraction for the client. Sometimes we also directly go in inter-system because we have access to some of the client's systems, and doing some in the end basic controls, but that are on really complex structures, and so it makes complex job at the end of the day. Then we have the second domain is the change management. So this is basically when a user is requesting a change to be operated on one system. So as an example, developing a new functionality on a system. This is what we call the change management. And so it will be some developers operating these new functionalities on a development environment. Then it's going to be pushed, for example, in a quality system where some users are going to do some tests. And then once everything is approved and tested, it's going to move to the real system that is being used by the end users. This is the change management. So we are reviewing what kind of tests are performed, if this is user acceptance testing, for example, or also non-regression testing, just to make sure that everything is going to be screwed up once the new functionalities is being pushed into the real system. The next domain is related to the computer operations, which is a real focus on the infrastructure. It means directly how the data centers are managed. So we even sometimes go on site to visit the data centers. It can be really some basic controls in place, like being covered against the natural disasters in the data center. It can be something. So it's not really related to IT, but still you have to ensure that the data centers are secured. So against flood, against fire, against earthquake, anything like this. But you also check then how the servers are managed, how they are backed up or mirrored, or how the interface are done between the ERPs, the different databases and everything. So this is, I think, the most technical domain that we have, and we are also reviewing it for our clients. And the final one is the program development, meaning if the company wants to do some migration to a new ERP, they are going from Oracle to SAP or whatever kind of big migration they have. We are reviewing as well how the project is managed from an IT point of view, but as well from a project management point of view. This is the four main domains that we are auditing right now. And those domains will then lead to deficiencies and audit response. So by deficiencies, we mean that we have reviewed that those users being granted to SAP are based on a certain script. And then we have reviewed those and found some exceptions to this process. And we have spotted some errors in the script, for example, and those will, by the way, be called deficiencies that the client will have to address. Otherwise, they will be considered as not being able to manage the IT controls internally. So deficiencies and audit responses. We also have a lot of communication to perform across the team itself, and also with our colleagues from the financial audit team, and also with the clients, and also with the global PwC network in a more general way. And this is, by the way, purely IT oriented. Once all of those IT general controls are tested, we can expand our work. That's usually what we do on the bigger clients, which are called what comes after our slide on the slide here on the right of the slide. So we have, I just put here a few additional missions that we are doing. The first one is the system generated information. So the financial auditors have a report, for example, that will calculate some risk based on stocks, let's say, and they're using this report to do their own work. What we're going to do is to tell them that this report that they're using is complete and accurate, and the data that they're using is not being manipulated or not being modified by any way before they use it. Other kind of section that we are doing is the application automated controls. to configuration testing over the various business processes. I have a full slide on it later on, so I will not talk too much about it. But basically, this is a company have some processes in place to run their business. If we take one process as an example, would be the purchasing process. So how the company is getting the purchase orders and the related goods receipt and the invoice receipt that will lead to them. And so to avoid any financial risks and potential financial loss on those processes, they have controls in place to verify that nobody is cheating, that nothing is being deleted or anything that is being fraudulent or anything like that. And some of those controls are then automated. That means that this is a direct configuration in the system that will, if I take one example on the purchase, someone that creates a purchase is not able to approve the same purchase. This is an automatic configuration in the system, and this is what we are testing. So this is highly related business and IT mixed together. But I will go in a bit more into details in this one afterward. Other kind of work that we are doing are the interface testing to the other application. So if you have one main ERPs, but you may have also one application for the treasury, for the payment, for the consolidation process, any kind of those, and then you have to ensure as well that the data that is being transmitted from one application to the other one is correct, and that the interface is managed in a way that there will be no crash and no loss of data. And finally, so this is the last one, but probably one of the biggest side projects that we have is the data analytics one. We have tons of data analytics projects. The biggest one is related to the journal entry testing. So for just to explain a bit what is it, any company has to maintain a general ledger, meaning that all the journal entries that are entering from an accounting point of view will be entered in the system. So this is basic accountability principles. And so those journal entries are being reviewed by us for the fraud cases, discovery and anything like this. And we are doing it basically on all our clients. So it may vary of the size of the client, but we have usually a lot of data to review. This is what the main data analytics project that we have. But we also have other projects like analysis of the revenue stream, of the inventories, of any kind of thing. I will also develop it a bit more later. But I think the main point here for the data analytics, if I put myself in when I was a student in Lausanne again, is that here we have real concrete cases of data analytics with real data, and it's sometimes 100 or 1,000 times bigger than what we were doing at university. And this is also really more concrete because it's really used by people at the end of the result that we are doing. And this is usually real exciting projects that we really all enjoy to do. So if I move on to the next slide now, to make the focus on the application automated control, I just summarize here some of the business process that we are usually auditing. So this is the main ones, the purchasing one, the sales one, the goods receipt inventories, and then the smaller processes, but are still implying a lot of work, which are the treasury, the assets, and other ones. I wanted to talk more specifically about this one because I've been involved into a lot of application automated controls projects so far in really big organizations, meaning when I say big, it's that they are running multiple SAPs, and within these SAPs, they have hundreds of companies running on it as well. So it means a lot of data and a lot of configuration. I put here a small bullet point about testing through automation. So we are automating the automated controls testing. It means that instead of going into a system, checking one configuration to make sure that something is working this way, and then allowing us to go to the next step and ensuring that this and this works the right way or not, we have now the ability to simply extract huge tables from the ERPs, and we upload it in dedicated servers that we are working on for data analytics. And we have built SQL scripts that will automate the analysis of all of those and pull out a final result. So we are doing our work as usual, but we are also really thinking a bit smarter of how to do it, to doing IT within the IT work as well. So this is also really, really exciting. Just to make a small parenthesis as well, that we have a lot of freedom of how we want to handle those kind of missions. And this is something that we are completely free to do, and our managers back in the days were not really aware of what we are doing, but just giving us a lot of confidence, and we could create our scripts, doing our own methodology, and now we are having one of the most advanced testing of the automated controls in audit. Some other words on the application automated controls. It's a real strength to be working on those missions, because you are basically able at the end of the day to translate the business needs into IT content and reversal. So you can also see IT contents and translate them into the business requirements. This is really something really strong to have. So you can talk to IT people as well as to accountants and other business people. A lot of people are seeking for those kind of abilities nowadays. Can it be in PwC or in any kind of other companies? So this is a really good topic to be working on. If I move on now to the data analytics one, so the left bar are the JETs that I already mentioned, the journal entry testing for fraud recognition. We have basically the lead of doing all of those data analytics. I'm from the Romandie part and the industrial sector, so I'm doing the lead of this team. It's a team that may vary from 1 to 10 or 12 people, depending on the schedule of the year. And we are receiving data for hundreds of clients that we have to process. It means that we have to be really easy to manipulate data, sometimes big data, and then to transform those. Could it be through basic Excel manipulation, but also into VBA macros, to SQL scripts, or any kind of tools that we may use in our daily work. I will not mention all of them, but we have really strong tools now that are working. We are working a lot into Alteryx as well for those who knows it, but I will come back later to this subject. And at the end of the day, those JET journal entry testing, we are then manipulating the data, and at the end, we are creating some dashboards, interactive dashboards that will be given to our colleagues from the audit, from the financial audit, so they can do some analysis on those. The other big data project that we have, I put one example here, which is the analysis on a really complex revenue stream for a client which is doing commodity trading. And as you can see here, this is $5,000 billion value entries. So it's to come back to what I said before, for the comparison between real world data analytics and the one that you see at university. This is really, really big data for this one, because this one is, I even discovered bigger one after I wrote this slide. So this is really big ones. And this may have all your attention of how you will handle the data. So you will have to get a real reflection of how you will manage your databases, how you will manage your projects and everything. This is really interesting. Here, the revenue stream means that you will do a full analysis of how the revenue will be split across the company for those kind of really big companies. I also put some mentions to other data analytics that we are doing here, the one on the pension funds, and the inventory scans as well. So you are also extracting lots of data from the ERPs and really playing with it to see all the movement that have been performed on some inventories, and making sure that there is no suspect activities, or that there is no stocks disappearing, or any kind of stuff like this. Okay, so it was until now just speaking a bit how it was on our daily work, but now I'm talking a bit more how it is currently evolving. So this is already some day-to-day evolution that we are seeing today, and I'm calling it the one digital story, because this is how we called it internally as well, which is we are leading all the transformation projects right now. In the past, it was a bit mixed between direct financial audit team, our team, or the advisory team, or anything. When I say transformation, this is digital transformation on the engagement that we have as an audit. So everyone was initiating some projects to digitalize their audit, let's say. And starting from this summer, it's officially our team, the digital audit team, that is leading all the transformation project that we have. So here, if I take the slide, we have first the focus account. So we have checked which were our clients the most mature to go into a digital transformation, and then we are putting everything we can to digitalize the audit through brainstorming sessions as well. Then we have the digitalization of the audits through IT audit and digital upskilling. So digital upskilling, I will go a bit more into detail just on the right of the slide afterwards. I will explain. And then finally, one big message that we had from our big management, our top management, is that we are not really two teams working aside, but we are trying to really work as one team together. So the financial auditors and ourselves, so we bring some knowledge to them and they also bring some knowledge to us, so we can really fully understand each other and get the full picture of what should be done from the business perspective and from the IT perspective. So now if I talk a bit more about the digital upskilling is a project that started 2 years ago in Switzerland for the global network. So not only Switzerland, but all PwC offices. We have two teams that are driving it. It's the digital assurance. So digital assurance is digital audit. And the second team is the digital accelerator. I'm talking about it because I'm also part of the digital accelerator team. Digital accelerator are a transversal team, basically, that are touching a lot of line of services. So it means that we are doing some work in the digital audit, but as well in the financial audit, but as well in the advisory, as well in the administrative task and everything. It's really a role that may help other people to get better knowledge on new tools and new technologies. I put here the main new tool that we're using, which is called Alteryx. Alteryx is basically a tool that will help you to automate what you are doing in Excel. So if you have calculations to perform, and then you have to do some cross checks between tables of Excels, and you have to do it, let's say 10 times per week because you have a client with a lot of entities. Alteryx is able to, you can create a workflow in Alteryx that will do exactly the same, but that will then automate all of those. And this is a bit the tool of the future, because we are not even then manipulating anything in Excel anymore. We are creating the Alteryx workflows, and then it's generating the result that we want automatically. And this is something that we digital accelerator and digital assurance people are really trained on it. And when I say I'm trained on it, I spent last year, I think 200 hours being trained on Alteryx directly. So this is everything that PwC is really pushing up, so that we get certified for Alteryx and that we are really have a strong knowledge. And then with those knowledge, we are able to help our other colleagues to develop new tools as well for their own engagement and really be able to grow in their own way. We also have some training and a lot of hours dedicated to the creation of dashboards. We are using Power BI. We used to use Tableau as well in the past, but now we are focusing on Power BI really. And in the same way, we help people to implement some new dashboards to help them in the daily work. I mentioned as well that tool called the Data Snipper, which is something that will help you copy paste data from a PDF file to Excel directly, and also through automation. So you can, as an example, show the Data Snipper how to select data in one invoice that you receive from the client. And then you can say, please do it for the 1,000 more invoice, and it's going to create by itself some table within Excel. So this is some really fancy tools that we have and that we are trained on working on, and then we are helping other people to use those as well. I also mentioned the digital app. It's something that everyone has to train on, which are publications of articles on new technologies. So it can be AI or RPAs or blockchain or whatever kind of new trendy technologies that we have. And basically you have some articles to read. It's not long articles. It can take 5 minutes to read. And it's called the Digital Fitness app, because the goal is to do some digital fitness in the end, to just keep yourself up to date on the new trends, and get the whole thing upskill with our help. So, and just now that I mentioned blockchain as well, we are also have some project dedicated to cryptocurrency audits, and to therefore anything related to the blockchain technology and the new emerging technology. And we also have trainings now on RPAs. So we are doing our own RPAs as well. So RPAs are robotics, basically, for people that didn't know. And we are using UiPath as a software to do some robotics within our engagement. So this is a bit where we are going now, and in the really short term, and this should be in 1 or 2 years, our daily basis will be more of these and less of the stuff that I presented in the beginning. So I'll also have some other missions to mention here. First of all, advisory mission. So the basis of our work is the audit. It means that we have some legal obligations to perform the work and to publish and review accounts from companies, which also means that we have to get a clear independent role as part of the company. But we also have some advisory missions where we are not auditors, but we are really consultants to helping other companies. To here, the example I put is like, for example, the migration of an ERPs to other applications. So we are helping them to implement and to migrate some data and systems. We are also doing this really fancy and exciting project, which is the process intelligence. To quickly introduce what this process intelligence is, so basically you have a company that will create its purchasing process. So it means that they're going to create a purchase requisition that will then lead to a purchase order that will then make a good receipt. So they have something entering the inventory, and then an invoice receipt will be emitted. So this is a process that the company will put in place. And what we are doing is that we take all the purchase order, good requisition, and invoice receipt in the system, and we are being able to recreate the whole flow of what happened for those particular data. And we can recreate the real process that data has taken, and not the one that is hypothetical and in theory. And then we can recreate this process, and we can see directly if there is some issues within the process that the data is really following. For example, we can see that 10% of purchase order for this type is not following the correct process because they are doing this step before this step. So it's really, in summary, it's by the way, more complex in real projects, but this is a really interesting one. It looks a bit like process mining as well for people that are doing those kind of courses at the university. And the last advisory missions that we are usually doing is the SOC reports. So it's helping companies to get ready to get audited, basically. I put only those 3 ones, but there is several other ones, but those are the 3 biggest ones that we are doing, let's say. I also talked here about project management and coordinations. So working at PwC, and especially more in digital assurance, is really helping you to develop soft skills like those ones. Because really rapidly, when you are coming into the team, you're going to get pushed through the clients, maybe sometimes even allowed after 2 or 3 months, and it really helps you to grow a lot. You have to then coordinate your own missions directly when you're even a trainee, you're an intern, you're already doing those kind of things. And so it helps you to grow a lot faster than if you are working for other companies. So you have a lot of independence really rapidly, and then you have to manage all of those projects on your own, which is really good for learning those kind of soft skills. And then I had also a few words to put for the growing in the team. We have I just divided 3 categories. So we have first the interns and the associates, then the senior associates, and then the managers and above. Interns and associates, so learning the basics, you have 1 mission, maybe sometimes 2 missions at the same time, and you get the most information you can and the most skills you can from the more senior people on the team. Then when you are getting to the senior associate, you will learn how to manage several projects, coaching the more junior people, learning new things, and then also coaching the clients. And then when you become manager, you have your own teams where you will so then manage the client's relationship, the planning, and also it gets yourself upskilled on the latest technologies, because the goal is really to help clients out to better audit their own financials statement and those kind of things. So yeah, that was a bit the point I wanted to put. And also for just a mention for the digital assurance, I don't know if people are aware of what is happening in the financial audit services, but they have to spend at least 3 summers after the university studying and doing some exams. So basically having no life at all, just to do the so-called CPA, which is the certification to become an accountant, a certified accountant. I just wanted to mention that we do not have such things in digital assurance. We have 1 certification to do, which is 1 week to prepared ourselves for a multiple choice questions exam, which is passed really easily, that we all do. I even did it when I was still an associate. And yeah, that's all. So you have only 1 week, and you don't have to spend a lot of your free time to get some certification. But in the other way, if you want to get some certifications that are not listed in the beginning, you also have a lot of opportunities to get trained on AI, on blockchain, on RPS. We have tons of trainings. We also have a really great global network for digital assurance with a lot of training. Back in the day was foreign. Now it's going to come back maybe a bit after COVID. But yeah, so a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge that can be shared, and you basically can do whatever you want. I even have some colleagues that are doing some MBAs at the same time that they are doing the digital assurance, and everything focused on data analytics. So we have really a lot of opportunity to grow the way we want within the team, which is really appreciated as well. One last section, which is what will the digital audit looks like in the future. It's so far I talked about the IT general controls, the application, automated applications, the key report testing and data analytics. We will still do those, but the more the year will go, we will try to go more into a service delivery center usage. So it means basically that we are too expensive to do some work, so we are giving it to people that are cheaper. So we are sending it to countries like Poland or Turkey or anything, and then we are saying to them, here is the data, this is my client's landscape, please perform these works, and then they are performing the IT general controls for us. So we have more time to focus on the new technologies and the new trends and the projects that we really enjoy and like working on. This is a bit the main trends that we'll have to do in digital audit, and as well, so keep being upskilled on the new tools, so Alteryx, RPA, and visualization. We also have those two big trends that are coming up right now that we are even starting already now, which are the ESG. So ESG is the environment, social, and governance, which may implies IT a lot as well. So we have some services that are being created. I even did my master thesis on the green IT topics, so it's really exciting for me as well to have those kind of topics coming out to the main stage. And also a lot of topics related to the trust and transparency in our society, meaning that we really have to help the society to stop basically saying things that they should not have done and everything. So yeah, this is really, if this is something that talks to you, I think this is the good place to be in PwC. So yeah, that was all I wanted to share. And I think we can move on to the Q&A side.
Okay, thank you very much, Pierre. I just remind to the students that if you have any questions, you can directly type them in the chat so that we have a few more minutes to answer to you. So yeah, thank you, Pierre. Maybe some questions. So can you maybe tell us more about the atmosphere at PwC? What it's like?
Sure. Sure. The atmosphere at PwC. So this is related to digital assurance, but as well to the main auditors. So basically, we have really young people in our team and in PwC in general. I think the mean age is around 30 years old. So really young people, and everyone is really open-minded, and also I guess almost everyone I met in PwC was really smart people, with who you can learn a lot. And so this is from the knowledge and skills side. But by the way, there is also a lot of social events. There was some events that were a bit cancelled by the two last years because of COVID, as you may know. But we are getting back now into more social events as well, which is creating really good team spirits. We are going out on Thursday to drink some beers, for example. We have some Christmas party organized. We have some team celebration at the end of audits as well, which are all creating really strong bonds within the team, also with our colleagues from the financial audit, because now that we have a bit broke the wall that was between teams and that we are more mixed all together, it's really creating a really good atmosphere at work. And I really like a lot being part of this big team. We also have so it's a bit still cancelled by the COVID right now, but it's coming back, and we have those kind of trainings that we are doing foreign as well. I did some, I don't recall how many. I did 3, I think, training. Was in Holland, in Austria, and I don't recall the last one. But anyway, so it's really a unique experience to be working in PwC, and yeah, you learn a lot. You have a lot of social content to share with other people, and it's really enjoy it.
Okay. Good. We also have Pia who's asking if it's possible to receive a copy of the presentation. So just for you to know that you will receive an email by the end of the week with a link. The webcast will be uploaded on our career website. So yes, you will have the link. I also have a question from Eve asking what's the difference between working at PwC compared to another Big Four. So I don't know if you had the chance to work for another Big Four, Pierre, but
no, I didn't. I didn't, but I can share my thought about it. So first, when I was student and I applied for the internship at PwC, they asked me the same questions, but in the other way, why do I choose PwC and not another Big Four? And the first answer I said was because I like orange color, basically. So that was my first topics about it. But then, now that I've been working for 5 years into PwC, I have a few things to say that I'm sure about related to the other companies. First of all, this is related to this global upskilling that we have in PwC. Other people are starting to do as well, but they are way behind us on this one because it's a project that we started already 2 to 3 years ago. It's a huge investment by PwC Global, or more than 4 billion across the PwC network to get everyone upskilled. And I think this is a huge step into the digitalization of our work. And I think the other, I'm sure that the other Big Four are not at that level right now. So getting everyone trained on those. I also think PwC is currently the biggest one of Switzerland. At least for some of the services, and I feel like PwC is always also more modern, more flexible, and a bit bigger than the other Big Fours. I haven't worked in other Big Fours. It is also what I hear from. You also have the certitude that all your hours and your overtime hours are getting registered and paid in PwC, which is not the case for all the other Big Four. This is some aspect that I can respond to. I hope this is already good for you, and if not, you can also just reach out to me on LinkedIn or whatever, and we can continue to discuss if you want to.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We also have a question from Antoine asking when will you open the application process for Audit IT in Geneva? So just for you to know, we have a job opportunity at the moment in Geneva in digital audit. So if you are looking for something, you can directly apply now. This is our colleague Luam who's taking care of the recruitment, and we will have more coming very soon. Okay, that's it for now.
I think there is another one.
Yes. How are the chances to join PwC if one is not fresh from university, but being, for example, an experienced accountant wanting to join the audit sector? We also offer experienced position, but maybe if you want to add something.
Yes, sure. So if I go back to what I experienced as being student at HEC Lausanne, so I learned a lot of stuff during my master in information system, but most of those hard skills I didn't use. It's more about the soft skills that you have developed by being able to understand rapidly how a IT component is working and how to manage it and how to deal with it on a daily basis. And so if you're not fresh from university, I think it's completely fine, because what we are seeking for is smart people that are proactive and able to manage any kind of new work, because you have to be really curious in this work, because there is every day some new technologies and some new things that the client will come out to you with some new ideas, maybe even some things that you don't even understand and that you have to do some research aside. And this is just to say that it's not only the fact that you are fresh from university, but if you have the willingness and the proactivity to be part of those kind of team, you are more than welcome as well. Even more, if you were an accountant in another area, it's even better because you also have a really good understanding of the business process. And so if you are able to mix this knowledge with everything that you are going to get in the IT audit, it's going to be a real strength on the team.
Exactly. I think we have the chance to have a big company and to be able to be flexible and to offer many opportunities according to your profile. So don't hesitate also to check on our website and to have a look at the different open positions that we have. Everything that is open is online. And for every positions, we have also the name of the recruiter. So same here, don't hesitate to send the person an email or to call the person so you can have more information. We're always happy to help. No problem. Thank you. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I will just give you some more information. We have other events coming soon also. For example, we have tomorrow financial audit workshop in Geneva. We also have an event for women. She's a deal maker in 2 days. And we will also have the financial audit workshop in Zurich. This is just free after upcoming events. On our website, you will have all the different you will find all the different events that are coming, and we have this webcast series all over the year on different topics. It's about one a month, so we will be happy to welcome you for the next ones. Just also to let you know that we have a PwC student development program that is open now. So it's a 6-month program that will allow you to accelerate your career in digital assurance. It starts in February 2022. You can already apply now. It's already online. Same on the career website. Sorry. Yes, and you also have the name of the person responsible. So also feel free to send an email if you have any questions. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, if you want to get in touch, we're available also on the social media. And as I said, an email will be sent to you by the end of the week with the link to this webcast if you want to have a look again. You will also have a survey when ending the webcast so that you can tell us what you thought about it, and that can also help us to improve ourselves. So thank you for taking the time. It will take like 2 minutes to give your feedback. And thank you very much, Pierre, for your presentation and helping the students to know more about digital audit at PwC. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.